There we go. All right, I think it has started recording. Okay, so looking at this first one, I've got the calculator here too. So what's nice is I can, I think, bring the calculator in to the screen. Excuse my fumbling around. You know, it's a laptop with the mouse in the middle, and I should probably grab my other mouse so I can. I'm going to do that just a second, so I'm not fumbling around with this.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, hopefully, how's the quarantine going for everybody in terms of, are you going a little stir crazy yet?
A little bit.
So did you like my email on the new Fortnite skin for AP Stat? So
No.
I figured it was one way to catch people's attention, because even if you don't play, you're probably like, what? Okay.
My mom saw it.
So let's see. In here, I'm going to take these, hopefully, and type them in to the calculator. So if you need a calculator, you could go to school to pick one up. If you need a charging cord, you could go to school and pick one of those up too. I've put them all by the welcome window. You could just say, I've got something to pick up from Mr. Becker. And anyway, you could do that. So whoops. Okay, so we got to put this into a table. So excuse my fumbling around while I do this. Okay, I think I typed them in correctly. Now this is review one. Review one is the one you should be doing in there. I know I might have a couple of reviews in there. Don't mean to be confusing with that. Let me pull that up for some reason. No, well, I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, so anyway, can I, and again, forgive my fumbling around, but I am still learning how to use this thing here. But a load of potatoes is sent to this factory. In order for the load to be accepted, potatoes must average over 8 ounces. So we see, you know, not all the potatoes are 8 ounces should they accept them. Now, it gives us one sample. So this is the one sample t-test. So in terms of our hypotheses, remember there are 12 points that you need. And this will be true. Question was asked on the AP exam. We're going to go through chapter 25. Excuse me, I'm trying not to sneeze. Nothing else has changed. Still, the sun makes me sneeze. If you've had me in class, I usually end up sneezing anyway, so that's still the same. But Our null hypothesis, we have 3 points that we need for our null hypothesis, HO. The mean equals 8. Now, the HO and the HA, they're always the same number, and the direction is that the mean is greater than 8 would be the alternative. Now, you need to have 3 points here that you got to do. You got to give a null and an alternative and then say what mu is. Mu is the average weight of the potatoes. Excuse the writing, but it is hard sometimes on the screen to write, so please do listen when I say average weight of the potatoes. Now, here's what a lot of people do on the AP exam. If you got this question, they say the mean is the potatoes. That's not true. It's the average weight of the potatoes. So you got to be specific about what it is. It's an average, and it's the weight. If you said mean is the average weight potato, then that would be fine. You know, I mean, you can abbreviate, but you can't say the mean is the potatoes. What is that? Number of little defects, or you don't know what they're talking about then. Okay, next, random check. We'll assume it's a random sample. Independent check. Now, it's not independent groups. As you've seen the different hypothesis tests, one of the big assumptions is whether they're, you know, if you had 2 lists, then you have to determine, is this list independent of that list? That's independent groups or independent samples. All right. Ooh, Madeline, your camera's on. I can't see you yet though, but hi. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard you. Okay, good. So, anybody got a cat? Show me your cat. If you got a cat, that'd be cool. I don't have a pet, so, or a dog. Madeline, you have dogs?
Yeah.
Spencer, you got dogs?
I have 2 dogs.
Cool. Call them over and introduce them on there.
Oh,
Is that a cat?
It's my dog.
Oh, it's a dog. Oh, what's his name or her name?
Her name is Ginger.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So anyway, random independent. Now, is it nearly normal? That's always one of the things. There you are. So we type these in a list. Whenever you type stuff in a list and their numbers, then you're going to go to the graph page and you want to look at them. So the graph or the pink page, the data and statistics, we're going to click in here. We're going to graph X and we're going to go, was one of them that small or did I mistype something? I think I typed something in wrong. Was one of them 3.7? I don't think so. 7.7. All right, maybe I typed it in wrong. Hold on. 8.5. 8.5. 8.1. 7.8, 7.9, 8.4. 8.4. 8.35. 8.7, 7.7. There we go. 8.15. Okay, sorry. That was going to really mess it up. You know, I could tell right away just when I graphed it that it was going to be a problem. Now, we can't tell from this graph if it's nearly normal. So the one that you look at is you go menu number 1, plot type, and then you look at the normal probability plot, and all you do is you look if it's straight. So these dots, you go like this and you say, okay, the normal probability plot is straight or it's linear, so it's nearly normal, check. If you have the data, you look at a graph. So those are the 3, you know, that we look at again. It's always random, something about independence. Oh, cool. What's his name? Or her name?
Her name's Athena. She's a bull mastiff.
Athena?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's 140 pounds.
That is a big doggy. Oh, there's another dog wagging the tail there. All right, happy dogs. But you guys do know that cats are better than dogs. I've told you this, right?
Yeah.
Cats can
I don't
operate
know.
an MRI, or dogs can't operate an MRI scanner, but cats can.
Oh,
All right. So, so anyway, had to have that one with the puppy dogs on there. Very cool animals. So now we're going to run the test. All right. So we'll add the calculator page. We'll go menu 6, stat test 7. And then this is a t-test. Since it's one list, it's a t-test. And then it always asks data or stats. Well, you're going to put it on data because you've typed stuff in a list. Stats would mean it gives you like summary statistics, like the mean, standard deviation, and just a value for n, how many. But this one, you have the data, so it's typed in the list. And then, what's that first one say? That's too small for me to read. Sorry, I got to get closer. Is that the null? Okay, so mu0, that it's 8. And then the list that it's in, my list is X. And my frequency is how much each of the data points, they're each worth just one piece of data. And then the alternative, we think that it's greater than. Okay, so you set it up that way. Sorry, that's so small, I can't read it. Yeah, I apologize. But the t value, then it's 1.08 and the p-value is 0.15. So we have to say t-test. Now, you really should say t-test for means because it's testing a mean. But if you say t-test, you'll get the credit on the AP exam. But it's nice if you know, okay, it's t-test for means. T equals 1.09 if we round. And the p-value, that's why I always say p-val, because that's your decision maker is 0.15. Now, what we were learning before we left is still the same. 0.15 is bigger than 5%. So what's the decision, everybody? Reject or fail to reject? Don't remember?
Fail.
Fail. Good. To reject the null. I'm going to abbreviate. Fail to reject the null. But that means there isn't evidence or is not evidence the mean is greater than 8. Okay? So then, so that's part A. And then part B on here. If your decision in part A is incorrect, what type of error was made? Now you have to think about what we did. We failed to reject, so we've stayed here, and in essence, we've crossed this one off. So the one you cross off is the error. So that's the second hypothesis. So that's supposed to be a 2 there. I can't get a 2 to come up on my screen. So in part B, we would make a type 2 error. And what else does it say? It says, so that'd be a type 2. What would the consequence of being this error, what would you have? Okay, so the consequence, the farmer won't sell his chips. I'm going to try to type this because I'm really struggling to write. So the farmer, what is going on? I think the program really like, oh my goodness, it really delays the typing. So many things are running. So the farmer won't sell chips and won't make money. Now, usually, you know, let's say we had rejected the null and made a type 1 error. You know, then the farmer sold them, but they were actually underweight. So that, you know, you could say usually one error is bad for one group and one error is bad for the other. This would be bad for the farmer because his potatoes actually are big enough, but they're not coming across as such. So, Let's try this one. 33 students are randomly assigned to test in a room that is painted pink. Let's see. Standard deviation. Oh, okay. So this one confuses students because right away they think that we're dealing with a proportional test. We're not. These are actually averages. It confused me for a second because I hadn't looked at it. But 33 students are randomly assigned to test in a room that is painted pink. The average test score was, so they're giving us a mean and a standard deviation for the group in the pink room. The other 40 students are in a room that's painted green and they have a mean of 72, standard deviation 12. Is there evidence that the green room will average higher on the test scores? Okay, so this one, so this is number 2. HO H A, that's sort of an A. Oof, that was bad. I can't get the, sorry, I'm on this struggle bus with the pen. Come on, pen. Really? I think the program is just not liking so many things running at once. Oh, that is supposed to be a mu. Can we pretend that's a mu? Oh, we're just gonna, that is not an N for those. I cannot get it to, you gotta love technology when you want things to work. So this is supposed to be mu. Which one did they give first, pink or green? Always average test score is pink. So this is supposed to be mu pink. And we think, is there evidence the green room will be higher? Okay, so our mu worked. I'm gonna try to fix it so it doesn't drive me crazy. There we go. So mu pink equals mu green. Ugh. And mu pink is less than mu green because we think the pink, the green is doing better. So then again, you got to define these. So mu pink is the average test score. I'm just going to put TS, and mu green, and of course, you can put the dittos, is the average test score in the green room. Okay. So now there are 2 groups. So this is the big thing. This is really, if I had to pick what's the test, it's, this is the main part of the test. The other part would be having potential confidence interval on there. But can you tell the difference between these 2 tests? Okay, so random independent groups. Okay, plural. Then 33 is the one group. And with means, on the last one, we had to look at the graph because it only had like a sample of like 8 potatoes. So you have to look at the graph, or you have to have information about the graph if that's the case to do that one. But this one, that's a big enough sample size. It's at least 25, and the other group is 40. And that's at least 25. So it's nearly normal. Okay, so now we're going to do the 2 samples t-test. So we go menu. Oops, I'm going to go new. Menu 6, 7, and 2 sample t-test. This time, here's the difference. It's nice, at least we're doing one with the data and one with the stats. This one has stats. Why? Because they're giving us all those different abbreviations of things. So this one, for the pink room, we have 62 and 8. Now we're just going to put 62 and 8. We're not going to make it 0.62, 0.08. That's what we're going to make it. And there were 33 people in that room. And then the other room was 72 was the average. 12, and there were 40 in that room. And then we think that the green is better since we put the green second. We are using, in essence, a less than sign. Okay, and then it asks pooled. And the rule is never pool. Don't do pooling. We're not even going to worry about what it is. Truthfully, in every other year, I don't even talk about what pooling is. So I'm definitely not this year. So just don't pool it. And we're going to say it's, here's our results. Okay, so we did the 2 sample t-test. We get negative 4.25 and 0.000, 4 zeros and then a 3. Ugh. So that's supposed to say p-val. If you're getting the urge to grab the, I'm gonna put the wavy equal signs as best I can and say 0. You're getting the urge to grab the thing, I understand. All right, so we get, it's 0. So that is, I'm gonna go to a next page to finish up. 0 is less than 5%. So this time we reject the null. Remember, this always comes in 3 things. Compare alpha, then say reject or fail to reject the null, and then talk about there's evidence. If you reject the null, you have evidence for the alternative. So we have evidence that mu pink is less than mu green. That is horrible. The program is just glitching out, not letting me write on here. Okay. So I think today I'm going to ask if you have any other questions. I think tomorrow I'm going to get on at about in this same time frame, sometime between 11. I'll just send out an email again, and I'm going to do one of each type of confidence interval tomorrow, if that is okay. Does that work for everybody? You know, but this way, I'll tell you what's going to be on the test. I'll guarantee I'm going to have a 2 sample t-test and a 2 sample or and a 1 sample t-test. Okay, so those 2 will be on there. And then I'm probably going to put one type of confidence interval, and it might just be in a multiple choice type format or something, but we'll see. Might just have to create the interval. Okay, so I'll go through the confidence intervals tomorrow. We'll do another session if you want to join tomorrow. And this one is somehow recorded. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out how to watch it for people. But I'm going to stop the recording now if I can. So stop